Kia ora homa. On today's video, it marks the start of a series of videos that we're going to make on toys that have the power of flight. And they're really simple toys that you can do at home. And when I say flight, they might not necessarily fly a really long way, but they use the principles of science to help them create flight. And the first one is a really cool one. And all you're going to need is 2 coffee cups, roughly the same size, piece of string, and some sellotape or glue if you've got it. So, stick around and I'll see you in the video. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make a really cool flying toy out of 2 cups. Now this is a McCafe coffee cup, a large one, and this is just an ordinary large cup that you'd get from your local coffee shop. You could use milkshake cups, you could use ordinary paper cups. Ideally, the bigger that you can get them, the better. Now the reason I'm using these 2 is A, they're the only ones I've got, but also B, they actually interlock with each other. Now a lot of these coffee cups have like a rim on them with a gap that gives us a surface, means that the surface isn't touching the table or whatever it's on, but they just happen to interlock really nicely. So it worked out that way. So if you've got cups like that, perfect. If they don't interlock like mine do, mine interlock really nicely like that and make a nice bond. If they don't link up like that, you want to try and get them to just join up and touch each other, and then what you might want to do is use hot glue. That would work really well. Masking tape, duct tape, normal sellotape, anything that you can do to get them to really stick base to base really well, because we want the opening facing out. Okay, so we want them like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly hoof a bit of tape on here so that mine are nice and well stuck together. You want to try and get them so they're lined up nice and straight. And what I mean by straight is they're like, it's even. There's not like a bend in it, really dramatic bend. It's very nice plane. What I mean, just to give you a better idea, you know, like from end to end, it's relatively even. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, because this is going to help the flight of our craft. So stick around. Now, believe it or not, this is the end of the construction part of my flying device. Now, the only thing that I need is in terms of a propellant or an engine is kind of built into this. And what we're going to do is we're going to get our humble piece of string here, and you wind it around the center of your cups as tight as you possibly can get it without without damaging the cups. And the point, so you want to wind it, what would be anti-clockwise. Yes, I'm a teacher, children. Anti-clockwise. So wind it as tight as you can around the cups because you want the running end of the string on the top of the cup, and you'll see why. But basically, just to give you a bit of an explanation as to how it works, is what we're going to do is we want to throw the cup and give it a whipping action. And what that's going to do is make the cup spin backwards as it's moving through the air, and that spinning backwards is going to make it want to go up. It's the same as when you throw a softball or a baseball or a tennis ball in the air, and you have your fingers on the top of the ball, and you throw it and it flicks out of your hand with your fingers, and that creates a backspin. So we're trying to create a backspin to create lift on the cups, and that's how it's going to fly. So I'm going to quickly do this up, and then we're going to go outside, and I'm going to give you a couple of demonstrations to show you how it actually works. So you can see 2 paper cups make quite a fun and interesting paper flying device. In the next series, we're going to look at making a wing, and that's just as fun and just as easy to make. Just a bit of a tip, when you do the throwing action on this, you want to whip in a nice upward direction, and that's going to give you the best flight. If you want to really improve your throw and the distance on this, I would do it from a high place. So I would do it on the top of a hill and throw up down the hill, if that makes sense, and that would make it fly that much further. Okay, and probably the more string, you could practice with using different lengths of string. Just to let you know, I used a piece of string maybe about 2 meters long, probably more like 1.5 meters. But the more string, the more force you're applying to your cut, and when it winds all the way up, it's going to be creating that backspin that you're looking for. Anyway, till next time, ka kite anō. I'll see you next time on Mr. Ashton's Place. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video, and hit subscribe if you want to see all the interesting and fun things that we do on around here. Till next time.